It was quite the surprise. Obviously, Freddie's one of the best players in the game, and he ran a 3-2 count, got him on the changeup his first at bat, and just yanked the changeup, right there in that situation. And Freddie put a good swing on it. But yeah, he just doesn't give up the long ball very often.
How difficult was it to figure out Ozzy Albies tonight?
Yeah, he had a good night. I think there was a leg double, a leg single. Um, he got the ball that just over CT's head, and then hit the homer off Cleric. So I think last night the home run off McGee's just got some confidence going.
Down 0-2 in the series now, does it put any additional pressure on you and your staff to perhaps see if Clayton can go, or are you sticking to Urias in game three?
Yeah, Julio will go tomorrow, and regardless, we still got to win a baseball game, and you still got to win four of them. So we feel really good with Julio going.
Is that the message, Dave? Just, they still have to win two more, you still have to win four. I mean, what do you tell your team going forward?
I think it's just one game at a time. I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but you just gotta. That's the only way to do it and to approach it. I thought that just late, us showing some life offensively was very good to see. Early on, we created some traffic and just couldn't get that 1, 2 big hits, and they did. But to us, to see us fighting, that was a good thing.
Thank you.
Next question is from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Dave, in that fifth inning, can you just kind of take us through going with Baez there? I know you had Choleric up, and the three batter rule, did that affect your decision?
Yeah, well, with one out, you don't want Cleric to get after Freeman. There's some, whether it's Acuna, whether it's Ozuna behind him. So you're put in a tough spot with that three batter rule. And then also, I felt Tony was throwing the baseball really well, and he punches Riley, and then it wasn't a good walk to Markakis. He put together a good at bat, but the walk there, and then there's a ground ball double off Pache's bat. So, when it's 3-0 right there, to think about bringing, one of your highest leverage relievers in the fifth inning in a -3 run game, it just doesn't make sense. So right there, I wanted him to try to, feeling he's still throwing the baseball well, to try to get to Acuna. There was another walk in there. So Pedro's been good for us. And seeing I grounder off Freeman, and then from that point on, he just didn't execute.
Was Grado available tonight? I know you mentioned the Paul thing yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. He was available, but again, it's one of those, when you're down 3-0 in the fifth inning, I'm not going to use a high leverage guy right there.
Lastly, is Clayton your guy for game four?
Right now, we'll see how he feels tomorrow. Right now, I know that Julio's going to start, and if Clayton continues to feel better, then we'll see.
Thank you.
Next question is from Dylan Hernandez. Go ahead.
Hey Dave, given some of the uncertainties that kind of exist, with your rotation in terms of just, how many innings you can get out of guys and stuff, and also kind of taking into account the strength of the Braves lineup, just kind of how big of a challenge is it, figuring out, going into your bullpen and figuring out how to get those 27 outs?
Yeah, that's why you're playing 7 days in a row, and so you have to try to give your starter some leash, and we knew that going in, and Walker, we pitched him, it was 5 innings, 100 pitches, and today I really wanted Tony to get through that fifth inning, but we just ran into some trouble, and I just felt that he didn't have anything left in the tank, and we just couldn't finish that inning out. But with Julio, I expected to give him a runway, and expect him to pitch well and give us a chance to win a baseball game.
And as you kind of go forward from here, how do you kind of balance that thing of, okay, well, it could be a 7-game series with kind of the immediate need to win now?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, there's a thing of, obviously, in a deficit, who they've got available. But I think that tonight, we did a good job of getting other guys in there to get their feet wet as far as in this series, to not stress them, for them to be available in the coming days. But you just can't play every game, regardless of score, like it's life or death in a 7-game series.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next question is from Bill Shakin. Go ahead.
Dave, to follow up on what Jorge had asked, it looked on television like Trinan was throwing in the fifth inning.
He,
Was he up for Acuna, and if so, why didn't he come in?
yeah, he was up for Acuna, but once Pache got the ground ball double, I just felt that 2-0 in that situation, if we could have got Pache out or kept him kept the runner Markakis from scoring from first base, then it makes more sense to potentially get a double play ball to get out of that inning and keep it at a 2-run deficit. But in my opinion, once it got to 3, I didn't feel it was. I didn't want Blake in that game, in the 5th.
Thank you.
Next question is from Scott Braun. Go ahead.
Dave, where's Urias at from a stuff perspective, and what do you think tomorrow in terms of length and everything on where he's at based on what he's done lately?
Yeah, I think with Julio, obviously it's all predicated on performance and how he's feeling and throwing the baseball. But 5 and 75, 6 and 90, I think should be on the table.
Next question is from Sarah Spencer. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, did you feel like the guys were able to establish kind of an offensive rhythm there in the ninth, and is that encouraging moving forward in the series?
It really is, and I think for us to be able to get Melanson in the game tonight in a game like this, we were down 7-0. I thought was big. To see some other arms that we hadn't seen yet in the series, I thought was important. But that home run by Corey going the other way, I thought was an exhale for everybody. And then you looked at in the 9th inning, we took some good at bats and put some runs on the board. So I definitely think that that's some momentum we can take into tomorrow.
Thank you.
Next question is from Tim Brown. Go ahead.
Dave, when you said that you can't play every game regardless of score, like it's life and death, at 0-2 in Game 3, are you a lot closer to playing it like it's life and death?
Yeah, I think that that's a fair question. And obviously game, situation, game score matters, and who you're going to use if you're referencing relief pitchers. But yeah, the more you feel that you're in a deficit, as far as the series goes, you have to make that decision.
Thanks, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next question is from John Morosi. Go ahead.
Thanks, Dave. What did you see change in your team's approach as the game got late tonight and the at-bats improved? Corey Seager talked about how maybe you did a better job of staying in the strike zone. Was there something else that went into, you think, the better at-bats and better results for your club later on tonight?
I just thought that the guys that came in behind the starter were just making some more mistakes, and the mistakes that they were making, we were squaring up. And that goes with staying in the strike zone. But, yeah, we did a good job of taking advantage of mistakes.
Got time for one more. Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, Dave, having been part of a team that was down 3-0 and came back to win, a 9th inning like this and getting some energy and enthusiasm and emotion back in, how big is that? And did the emotions lag during this game?
No, I don't think the emotions lagged. I thought that early on we had some opportunities to get a lead, and we just couldn't come up with the hits. But, we were scratching and clawing, and, they still got to beat us a couple more times. So our only focus is on tomorrow night now and how we can, find a way to win a baseball game.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, guys.
everybody.